Round 3 of the MRF Tyres Queensland Rally Championship was a hard-fought affair. Ryan Smart and Hugh Reardon-Smith took an unlikely victory. The Globe Rover Imbil Rally was run over 114 competitive kilometres and 8 stages. The roads previously used for the International Rally of Queensland were in great shape and were popular with the drivers. 33 cars took the start, but it was a disaster for championship leaders Ian Menzies and Robert McGowan. After starting strongly, they would come to an abrupt end, rolling on stage 2. Both were okay, but the car would go no further. Equally, Jared McConkie and Eric Johnson were strong in their Subaru WRX, but a mysterious engine malady ended their event on special stage 3. The car dropped a couple of cylinders in a stage, but they could not replicate this back in service park. But equally, their rally was over. There was a thrilling four-way battle at the front with Smart and Reardon-Smith, Wayne Morton and Megan Benson's Toyota S2000, Marius White and Alan Steen's Volkswagen S2000, and Tony Scott and Jay Davidson. Sadly for Scott and Davidson, they were not featuring the final results, having retired on the final stage. White and Steen had a nightmare 2017, not making to the start line of either round 1 or round 2 of the QRC. But the mechanical issues were put to bed in this round, and they would go on and win special stage 3 and fight for the overall victory. But they lost a minute on the final stage and take 3rd overall. It was the second event for Morton and Benson in their Corolla S2000, and they put out competitive stage times, taking 2 stage wins. They lost a drive shaft on one of the stages, losing time. That was later hit by Todd Webster and Ray Priest, but all were able to make it back to service park and continue the rally. In the end, Morton and Benson finished second, just 7 seconds behind Smart and Reardon-Smith. Smart and Reardon-Smith fought back after a tough start, stalling on stage 3, losing more than 30 seconds. This put them a long way back at the halfway point, but they fought back on the second half of the rally. On special stage 6, they took 20 seconds out of their competitors on a stage of just over 6 minutes. In the end, they took their win by 7 seconds, with a further minute back to Swart and Steen. 4th was Webster and Priest. Of note, Kim Ackworth and Ian Swinburne finally made it to the end of a rally in 2017. Having blown an engine last time out, they battled against the clock to make it to the start line. They did, and while they didn't have a clean run throughout the entire rally, they did make it to the end. Unlike Melinda Bergen and Larissa Bigger, who had a drive shaft failure in their Evo. Equally, Matthew Knight and Dennis Jelinek had a clutch failure in special stage 6, and Craig Aggio and Peter Springfellow's Toyota would not make it out of the service park with air and steering. It was also an interesting rally for Ross Cox and his new co-driver. Janet Binns stepped into the Nissan for this rally. It was her first gravel event. They had a trick computer go out on the first stage, and Janet had to learn about the roadbook with no distance to relate it to. They were able to fix the trip computers for stages 4 through 8 and collected the 5th fastest time in stage 7 and 6th fastest time in stage 8. It was a great effort for Janet under trying circumstances, and she will be back out at the Banarkan round. The class winners were taken by P6 for Webster and Priest, P5 for Morton and Benson, and Classic by Smart and Reardon-Smith. P4 was taken by the Commodore Ute of Jamie and Michelle Lawson, and P2 was a Hyundai XL of Ryan Williams and Michaela McDonald. The next round of the MRF Tyres Queensland Rally Championship is the P3 Solutions Banarkan Rally, held on 16th of September.